All right, hello and welcome. Brett here with clickmail.co. So in this video, in this course, we're going to be talking about burnout. That's something that can happen to you in ministry. It's something that can happen to you in business. It's something that can, happen to you in life. And it's not that we can always 100% control kind of when we burn out, but the vast majority of the time we can. And so in this course, the purpose we're going through this is so that you can optimize your life, you can optimize your ministry, so that you can perform on a high level and you can then sustain that high level over a long period of time. Because even if you work, and when I was in ministry for 3 years, even if you work for 3 years or 5 years in ministry, which is kind of your average burnout time for pastors, and I'm just using ministry as an example. Even if you work and you do lots of overtime and you sacrifice and sacrifice and commit, the amount of fruit you're going to generate in your ministry over 3 to 5 years is nothing compared to what you would have done over 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 years if you had just gone a little bit slower and focused on the fruitful activities. So this is another course here in sort of our phase 2 of our structure on how to live a fruitful life for the Lord and how to create a fruitful ministry or business. And it's essential that we last long enough to create the fruit. And as I think maybe as an example of this, I've been over here and I've been working ClickMill for, I don't even know, 5, 6, 7, probably 7 years now. And I didn't even really know what I was doing until years in. The fruit didn't even start coming in until years in. And so if we're only making it a couple years, a few years into something God has called us to do, you're probably not going to see any fruit anyway. So, I was talking with a ministry, how do I say this? A strong Christian. He's an engineer and a farmer. And I said, well, how do you look at the fruit in someone's life? And we're talking about how to create fruit. He said, you got to look behind them. Well, what do you mean? He says, you have to look behind them because the fruit doesn't grow now. You plant the seeds and it takes a while for it to come up. So that person's already moved on in their life. And what's behind them is either growing or dying. And he goes, if you look behind them and everything's dead, you know, that's probably not the person that you want to be taking your advice from or doing whatever. But when you look behind them and you see everything's green and everything's fruitful and growing and thriving, okay, the point there being is you're not even going to see any fruit if we can't make it past the first few years in any endeavor. Okay, so part of this is understanding it's hard, and that's the I believe the 203 course coming up is how to get through hard things. But part of it is just sustaining long enough to even see the fruit grow and to get to full maturity. So that's what we're going to be discussing in this course is how do we continue on without burning out, without getting so exhausted and discouraged that we just kind of throw in the towel and honestly, and believe I did everything I could. And it's just, this isn't for me. The Lord's not in this kind of thing, right? Kind of um, rationalizing away the fact that you're probably still supposed to be there. Now, of course, that's not always the case, but anyway, in this course, we're going to talk about burnout, what it is, how it happens, and then we're going to talk about strategies to mitigate that, to reduce that, and to make it much, much less likely, and how to make your time doing whatever it is God's called you to do so much more fun, where you're building other people up along the way as well, who are helping you and supporting you. So with that, welcome to this course on reducing load. We'll see you in the next video.